For years, the crypto world has basically been in a civil war, a war of different tribes, all fighting for dominance. But what if I told you that war is finally over? Today, we're going to break down the amazing tech that's not just tearing down the walls, but building a brand new, unified future. Let's get right into it.
So, to really understand why this is such a massive deal, we got to rewind the clock a bit. See, for the longest time, the crypto space wasn't this one big happy family. It was more like a collection of, well, warring kingdoms, each one fiercely loyal to its own blockchain.
And this whole tribalism thing, it forced everybody to pick a side. You know, in one corner you had Ethereum, the absolute fortress of security and decentralization. And in the other corner, you had Solana, this high-octane engine built for just face-melting speed. You had to choose one or the other. You couldn't have both.
Yeah, these two worlds were like two separate islands, and if you wanted to get from one to the other, you had to cross these really clunky, sketchy rope bridges. They were slow, they were complicated, and oh yeah, hackers absolutely loved to attack them. This whole situation is what fueled those tribal wars.
But that whole era is officially coming to an end. The walls are crumbling down, not because one side finally won, but because a brilliant new piece of technology just made the walls completely irrelevant.
So what was this big innovation that changed everything? Well, to really get it, let's use a super simple analogy that I think makes it all click.
Okay, just think about traveling abroad. The old crypto world was exactly like trying to plug your American phone charger into a European wall socket. It just doesn't fit, right? You needed some clunky, often unreliable adapter just to make it work. In crypto, those clunky adapters were the bridges between blockchains.
Now, to understand the new way, we have to talk about something called a virtual machine, or a VM for short. The easiest way to think about it is like a computer's operating system, right? Windows and Mac OS are both operating systems, but you can't just run Mac software on a Windows PC. Well, Ethereum and Solana have their own VMs, and they were just as incompatible.
So the huge breakthrough is something we call a multi-VM architecture. And this thing, it's like a modern universal travel adapter. You know the ones. You just plug it in, and it works everywhere, no matter what the outlet looks like. It connects these once warring tribes seamlessly, automatically.
And a perfect real-world example of this is a project called Eclipse. It's so cool. It lets developers build using Solana's super-fast VM, but all of the final transactions are secured by Ethereum's massive, battle-tested network. So you literally get the speed of Solana with the rock-solid security of Ethereum. It's the best of both worlds. No compromises.
All right, let's peek under the hood and get into the technical magic that actually makes this new, unified world possible. This is where it gets really, really clever.
So how does this all work? Well, a key piece of the puzzle is something called a shared sequencer. Imagine it as an air traffic controller that's managing multiple airports at the same time. It tells all the planes, or in our case, the transactions, exactly when to take off and land, so everything happens in perfect order at the perfect time across all the different chains. This is the tech that gets rid of those painfully long waits.
And just look at the difference here. It is absolutely staggering. We are talking about going from a 10-minute wait, that's enough time to go and make a whole pot of coffee, down to just a few seconds. That's not an improvement, that's a revolution.
So what does this mean for you, the actual user? It means you never have to think about which blockchain your money is on ever again. Your funds might be split across Ethereum and Solana, but in your wallet, you just see one simple, unified balance. The network figures out all the complicated stuff for you. This is called chain abstraction, and it's a total game changer for making crypto easy to use.
And this new tech opens the door to some truly mind-bending possibilities. I mean, imagine this. You could borrow a bunch of money on an app on Ethereum, instantly use it to make a quick trade on a Solana app, and then pay back the loan on Ethereum, all in the blink of an eye, in a single transaction. This kind of cross-chain magic was pure science fiction just a little while ago.
Now, here's the crucial point. This isn't just a cool upgrade for tech nerds. No, this fundamental shift in how crypto works is a massive win for literally everyone involved in the ecosystem.
This table really just tells the whole story, doesn't it? We are moving from a world of painful choices and compromises to a world of freedom and collaboration. You know, instead of having to choose speed or security, we now finally get speed and security. It is a fundamental upgrade for the entire space.
So who wins in this new world? Well, users win, because crypto finally becomes simple and seamless. Developers win, because now they can pick and choose the absolute best tools for whatever they're building. And investors win, Because when money can move freely and efficiently across every single chain, it creates way more opportunities and it makes the whole financial pie bigger for everyone.
Okay, so what's the big picture here? Where is all of this actually heading? Well, it's about building something huge, a single, global, high-speed financial network for the entire world. You know, the old story was always about finding the next Ethereum killer, that one blockchain that was going to come along and replace it. That narrative is completely dead. Turns out, the so-called killers didn't kill each other. Instead, they've started to merge their greatest strengths together.
What's really emerging here is something people are calling a superchain. Imagine a skyscraper, right? Ethereum is the deep, solid bedrock foundation, providing all the security and stability. And Solana? It's the high-speed elevator, whisking people and their transactions up and down the building in an instant.
And this, right here, is probably the most important takeaway from all of this. The brand names themselves, Ethereum, Solana, they're starting to matter less. What really matters now is the job they do. Are they the security layer or are they the speed layer? That's the new dividing line.
Which, of course, leaves us with a fascinating, huge question for the future. What happens to the identities of these once fierce rivals? Does Solana just become another piece of the giant Ethereum machine, or can it hold on to its own unique identity in this new world? The great tribal wars might be over, but the next chapter of this incredible story is really just getting started.